Welcome everybody to Tuesday Night Team Freedom Zoom call. We're so happy to have you. I see people from all over on here. So as more people jump on, if you can message your people or keep that post bumped up, we really are excited to hear from Debra McCutcheon tonight. Want to mention a few housekeeping things. We have just a few days left of the $9.99 joining special. So we want to make sure we're getting that out, putting it out, putting it on our pages, messaging people. And also the VIP pack. It's still available, so we're still messaging and trying to get that in the hands of as many people as we can, because we know as soon as it's available for customers, which is June the 7th, we want as many results as possible. I don't know, y'all, I kind of got outed on my results today. Funny story, I put my sent that on a private thread just to get some people to give me their feedback, and someone posted it, so they outed me, which is not too bad of a thing because I was very nervous about putting my picture out there. So it didn't give me any choice but to go ahead and put it out there. So you don't have to ask to share. If you want to share my photo, go ahead. But I'm seeing some great results already. Today, I usually do 3 coats of Estee Lauder double wear, and today I have 1 coat, y'all. So I'm seeing huge changes in my skin already, so I'm super excited about that. To not have 3 coats, because I feel like I have a mask on, and I don't want to do that anymore. So we're going to jump right in here. I'm super excited. I'm going to make sure everybody is muted.
I got myself a video off.
I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. Okay. But I'm super, oh my goodness, I have messed up, y'all. Said 3 cups. I'm super duper excited to have Debra McCutcheon with us tonight. This is someone that I met randomly at Super Saturday. And she was hosting in, I believe, Mobile. And I and some of our teammates were there that day, and I think there's some that were there that are actually on now. And so she was hosting, and just someone mentioned, I don't know if she mentioned or someone else mentioned about her being a part of Plexus since 2011. And I thought, I really want to meet this lady. So I walked right up to her and met her and just fell in love with her spirit. Such a kind, beautiful spirit. And I don't know what she's going to talk about. I know very little about Debra. I know she's from Louisiana. She's from LA, and that's not LA, California, David. We've got a California dude on here tonight. She's from Louisiana, and I know her journey to Diamond was a 6-year journey, which I thought was inspiring. So I cannot wait. I don't want to waste any more time. Take it away, Debra.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Super Saturday, that was crazy because, guys, okay, the very first Super Saturday, I hosted one in Nashville, and it was like 350 people. Okay, it was just like crazy, but thank you. I do appreciate it. And yes, I drank my very first pink drink June 25th, 2011. Okay, guys, there was no videos and brochures. We didn't have a catalog. We didn't have Zooms. We didn't know a thing. All we knew is there was this pink drink, and there was an accelerator pill, and there was that other ProBio and BioCleanse stuff. We didn't know much about that. We just worried about the drink. I actually started just to get my rump off the couch. I mean, I was just tired. I drove 45 minutes to work. I sat behind a desk for about 9 hours, drove 45 minutes home, and then sat on the couch. So I was just really looking for something with energy, to give me energy. And of course, I'm in the South. I want to lose some weight. I mean, I tell people, look, we talk with our hands and we eat a lot. That's our 2 things. That's what we do a lot of. I tell them, look, you could fry a cricket and give me some ranch and I would eat it. So I needed something more, something that was going to help me because I did have sugar issues as well. So my very best friend since 5th grade, she handed me it wasn't even a decision pack back then. It was just like little drink packs in a baggie. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. We used to sell and stuff like in the Walmart parking lot. So it was so crazy back then. But she gave me a 3-day sample of the Slim and the Accelerator. And she said, you need to try this. Now, being so supportive and being a great friend, I said, nope, I'm not trying it. I'm not trying it. I was very skeptical because I had tried so many other things. My mom actually is a type 1 diabetic. She passed at 39 years old. I was 12 years old. I grew up in a diabetic household. I knew the signs. Those candy bars in the freezer, they were not ours. So my friend knew that, and this is why she said these words. You know that aha moment? She said to me, she said, Deborah, this product is made for people like you. People like me that couldn't go more than a couple hours between eating. And then, I'd start to feel hangry, I tell everybody, and get really irritable. And so I'd have to eat every couple of hours. So obviously in the South here, that's where the pounds were packing on. So by the end of that second day, I was hooked. I felt like going for a walk. I told my husband, I said, let's go for a walk after work. He thought I was nuts. So it was really, I saw a huge improvement quickly, which tells me now that I understand all of this, is how out of whack my metabolism was, how I needed a lot more than just, more energy. So I learned, guys, even back then, like I said, there was no triplex. It was just those other products. We didn't know. So as it evolved, first of all, I was never going to tell anybody. I ended up joining. Guys, I want to tell you to something that happened. That very best friend, I called her, and because her coworker was selling it, that's why I got it. I said, Julie, I'm signing up to do this. Do you want to sign up, and I'll sign up under you? She said, no, I don't have the money. Welcome back. I don't have the money for it. So, and she was in nursing school, and, she just didn't have it in her budget. So, we do. Now, she ended up being one of my 3 to go silver, by the way. She ended up signing up under me. But I tell her the opportunity that she would have a leg of people 7 years in. Guys, I've got like close to 20,000 people in my downline. So I tell her about that, and she's kicking herself because, saying no to something that really, you never know what can happen. The more that I drank the pink drink, the more that I took the products, the more that I educated myself, the more energy I had. The more energy I had, the more I moved. The more I moved, the more I lost weight. The better I ate, the more water I drank. It was just an evolution for me. But I surely was not going to go on Facebook and put a fat picture of me. I was not going to tell a soul about this. But then my big old Italian family was like, what the heck are you doing? And give me 10 of it. So that's how I started this accidental business, is just sharing these products with my friends and my family. I wasn't going to sell it. Then my sponsor, who said, look, Deborah, if you, after a while, all your family is signed up or preferred, one or the other, what you going to do next? She said, you got to go public. Go in public. That's what she called it. So here I am putting a fat picture, hitting the post button, and talking about my results. And then it took off. 2 years working still that full-time job, because I'm an idiot and I didn't want to quit, and doing Plexus, went Emerald, left that job. I finally said, okay, I can do this. I can leave. I can work from home. Yay. And God's timing, I firmly believe in that, because it really took me that time to walk away from that job and work from home 6 months after I left. Now I was there for 14 years. Okay. 6 months later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Type 1, it was it was HER2 positive, stage 1. And it was found quickly because my family, there's some history in there, but it is because it was HER2 positive. It was an aggressive gene. I went through a whole year of chemo, radiation, surgeries, port, medical labs, hormone treatments. It was just, it was rough. I'm not going to lie. So here I am in Emerald, 3 years into Plexus. This business came through for me. I stopped to think about people who don't have a support system, or who maybe had to work during a chemo treatment, or you may know someone who's going through that. And I'm going to tell you, it would be devastating. Remember, 45 minutes to a job, there was no way I could do treatment and still work at the same time. My business flourished. This team carried me through that whole year. I rested when I needed to. I worked when I could. The beauty of this business, I never once imagined that I would need it the way that I did. I got through treatments, went the whole year, and then that was right in the beginning of 2016. August of 2016, 8 months later, I'm bouncing back. I'm ready to roll. August of 2016, our home flooded. Our city flooded. I'm here right outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We had what was called the 1,000-year flood. It was the craziest thing. It was like 50 inches of rain in 50 hours. I mean, it was a very huge amount of rain. It wasn't a named storm, so I think it didn't really get a lot of coverage. But if you remember, Plexus sent people down to Louisiana to gut homes. Those were my neighbors. People. Things I've learned about a flooded home. First of all, you got to gut. You got to get it all out. You got to get everything out. And then, we had 2 feet of water in, and you think, okay, well, that's not that bad. But everything, I tell you this, walk into your kitchen or walk into your house and look at everything waist down. That's gone. It's gone. It was devastating to us. There was, resources over, I think it was 64,000 homes flooded. And this was actually my new house. I had an older house. It flooded too. My kids were living in that. So again, Plexus came through for me. Got a little camper, put it in my driveway. That 1,000-year flood, let me tell you why it's called that. It's so rare, 1,000 years, okay? A lot of us did not have flood insurance. So we're rebuilding 2 homes with no insurance. I lived in that camper in my driveway for a year. And let me tell you, it's a whole lot of togetherness when you're in a camper. But I kept thinking about, my gosh, this business has carried me through so much. I need it again. I needed the funds to rebuild. I need to be able to live. I need to put my kids somewhere. I had to put them in a camper in their driveway. So it really, I lived in that camper for a year. It took us a year. And of course, you remember August of 2017 is when Harvey hit in Houston. Almost a year later, Plexus sent people to that. My belief in this company is sky high, because I know what they stand for. Let me tell you, and if you've ever gone through this, I've had people way more devastation than this, but if you've ever gone through that before, I'm going to tell you that the boxes started coming, the Amazon Prime and stuff that I didn't even know we needed was coming from ambassadors that I didn't even know. People were sending me stuff that I didn't even know. And you want to talk humbling, because you want to help everybody else and you want to help, but you're all of a sudden the one that needs the help. Socks and blankets and I just remember the smell of clean clothes was just amazing to me. So, it was really an experience. Plexus sent people to help us. You get donations, you get money. Plexus sent the hands and the feet, which is what we needed the most, to gut those homes. Could you imagine elderly people that they don't have the resources to do that? Barely getting by, and then all of a sudden their house is full of water. When I talk about this, I actually have learned through this, and let me say this. During that year, so of course, during that year of chemo, I actually progressed and went to Sapphire, and I said, I didn't do it. My team did it. In that last year in 16, went to 17, went to Diamond in that camper, sitting in a table no bigger than my computer right here, went to Diamond. And guys, I'm telling you, 6 years of doing this, 6 years. If anybody tells me they can't do it, I'm going to say, hold up, I got a story to tell you. Hold up. Because a lot of life happened to me in 6 years, and now 7 years. So a lot of life has happened. But never once did I say, oh my God, I can't do Plexus. Okay. Like whenever I got diagnosed, I said, not, how am I going to do this? I thought, how am I going to fit this into Plexus? Not how am I going to fit Plexus in, it was all about the things. It's kind of like, I tell people, like your brown eyes, it's like, that's a part of you. You don't ever question whether you're going to have brown eyes or not. You have them. I'm never going to question whether I'm a Plexus ambassador or not, because I just am. So yes, there have been times when I've had no customers. There's been times when people have left. Y'all all know about what a white line is. I could show you my white lines. You would laugh. Okay. Because people come and go. People aren't as committed. Guys, my best friend, my husband, and my very dear friend, She is how I went silver. Back then, I didn't even know what silver was. I had 3 people. Wow, I'm silver. What is that? That girl, though, has come and gone like 4 times. She started, she quit, she came back, she quit, she came back. You know what really, I think, made the difference is the relationships, we kept. It didn't matter to me whether she did it or not. She was still going to be my friend. So we kept that going. She's come back, she's left. You know, I feel like that is the key, the consistency. Doing this every single day. Yeah, when I'm flooded and don't even know where I'm going to live, I had to step back for a couple of weeks. My team took over. And let me tell you, this stubborn Italian who wants to do everything and control everything learned a really hard lesson going through that year of treatment, going through this rebuilding, is let your team shine. Let them stand up and shine. Like, I didn't even know about them doing calls because I never really asked them to. I just said, well, I'm the leader. I got to do the calls. So now I have a team that is shining and flourishing, and one that does graphics. I can't do a little graphic picture for the life of me. She does them great. Guess who does our graphics? Guess who carries our 7-day trials? So there's really so much I think I learned during this process, so much so that if I'd have got to Diamond 4 years ago, 2 years ago, it would have been a totally different experience because I am not the leader I was then. Heck, back then, a lot of times I apologize to some of my level 1s. I'm like, I didn't know. I had no idea what a preferred is. I'm sorry I didn't teach you that because we just didn't know. Guys, when we got a catalog, if y'all remember, if y'all read that, I think it's already been maybe about 3 years. When we got our first catalog, we were in business. Okay. We loved it. And it was such a fun, I still have it. It's really crazy because now our catalogs now are just absolutely award winning. They're beautiful. The evolution of our company is amazing, That's why I don't sweat the small stuff. If an order's messed up, if it doesn't ship immediately, if I gotta maybe sit on hold for a minute, don't sweat it. Because I can tell you a time when there were 5 employees. I think Charles said that at the big reveal. He's right. I know those 5 employees, okay? I will tell you that if I called to check on an order, they literally put the phone down and would holler, hey, is Debra McCutcheon's order ready? Okay? To Chris Pike, he was working in shipping then. That's how small we were. And think about us now. Think about us now. Plexus, our leaders are making the right decisions for us. Because back then you had 5 employees. I think now, what did he say? Is it over 400, I think, or 600 employees? That just didn't happen by accident. That just didn't happen by luck. That happened by them doing the right things the right way for us. So that reinforced my belief. Seeing them show up in gut homes of complete strangers, that reinforced my belief. I look at this company, I look at these people, and I look at these leaders, and I know, just like these brown eyes, this is where I was meant to be. This is where I was meant to flourish. And that I'd be really crazy if I didn't share all of this with everybody I meet. See, I have no fear. I have no fear of what are people going to think of me? I did then. Didn't want to put the fat picture out. If you go to my page, you're going to see the nice no makeup face I posted today. Ooh, I was scared about that. But you know what? Somebody needs what we have. And I firmly believe everybody on the planet needs at least one of our products. So who am I not to share that? You know, had my best friend didn't tell me about this, do you know how stinking PO'd I'd be at her? I'd be mad that she had something I could use, that I could benefit from. So I tell everybody, if you're brand spanking new, you're not quite sure. Number one, you cannot lead with fear and love at the same time, right? You cannot wear both of those hats at the same time. If you're scared to share, it's not going to be easy to share. But if you let that fear go, the love and the compassion you have for helping other people, it's just going to take off. It's going to take off. It'll outgrow the weeds of the fear that you have. So that's kind of the things I share with a lot of people with my journey. It's kind of hard not to share that big, long story because it's such an integral part of who I am. And honestly, even more so who I've become during this time. So I hope that helps you, Dad. If you have questions or anything, I could probably talk all day long about this. But I love to share my story in hopes that perhaps somebody else may be able to benefit, and maybe avoid some of the mistakes I made. I made so many mistakes in the beginning. But I do know that it all was just pretty much the rocks and the foundation of becoming what I am today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. And I'm sure, I know I have questions, so I don't know, can spend a few minutes, guys, asking some questions. So if anybody has one and you want to unmute yourself, but I would like to ask first about to Emerald to Diamond. I want to ask, did you sign level one that was maybe an integral part of, because I know my sponsor has said this to me, and I wonder if you feel the same. She's told me before, because when I talk to her about a rank advancement, she'll say, Datha, you've probably not signed the person yet. They're not on your team yet that's going to, push you to the next level. So do you feel that way too? Like with each rank, do you think it takes adding someone new as a level one?
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened with mine. Remember, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I signed up 2 people back to back. I started in 2011, the summer. December of 2012, okay, is when I signed up Hannah Kelly. She's my hairdresser, okay? And honestly, she cut my hair once. I wouldn't even say she's my hairdresser, but she cut it once. Then we were on Facebook. So she's a Sapphire now. The very next day, New Year's Eve, I signed up Deanna Forche. And actually, I signed up her friend who brought her to the party. So I didn't even know Deanna. Deanna's now an Emerald. That really, I believe, started the momentum of the team building, because December 2012, then of course 13 the summer 13 is when I went Emerald. So those 6 months, they were really rocking and rolling. But at the same time, this is something I feel is really what makes my team tick, is I have a lot of people doing a little bit, okay? Not just one person who just takes off out the water. That's awesome and that's fun. And when they were doing that, let me tell you, things were rocking and rolling. Deanna's a nurse. Like I said, Hannah was a young mom, so she had that great demographic. I'm not a young mom, so I didn't attract that. So I thought we really brought so much to the table together. But at the same time, if you were to ask me of my team today, and now of course it's huge, to me, it's because it's been 7 years. There's so many people that are gold. There's so many people that are silver. There's so many people that we call super silver. So there's not a huge one person superstar that brought me straight to the top. But what I do know is that I keep digging and I keep going, because people cycle in and people cycle out. So, I don't know if that really answered your question. I mean, that was my journey that got me to Emerald. Right now we've got 13 jewels on our team. One's all the way down to, I think my deepest is a 7. And I think that has helped with the filler, and that has helped with team growth. But I'm always looking for another level one. I'm always looking to fill that cup, because I know that and of course with the dynamics and logistics of us, we need those legs, right? We need those legs. My husband is actually an Emerald, and that's who I put Deanna under him, and I put Hannah under me. So it kind of gave us the balance. So I think it's more about strategically, when you're signing up, what you're doing, growing your legs, and really just don't ever stop digging. Don't ever stop going and wanting to sponsor people, because I feel like that's what creates the width. I mean, you do go wide and then it starts to grow.
Right. I love what you said, because really with both of those girls, you really didn't know them. You said Hannah had cut your hair one time and you shared with her, and the other girl was brought to a party, like a sympathy type party that you had. And she brought
that girl that I signed up, she said, look, I don't want this business. Now here, mistake again. I said, and I'm going to sign this. I don't really want to do this. And I did that. And of course, make sure my internet's not going wonky. And of course, all that time, she was a deeper level. Deanna was a deeper level until finally the girl she quit and, and everything. But all that time, I was like, wait a minute, I shot myself in the foot, because why did I need to do that? Why did I need to put him that way? That's called stacking. And that's not the case. Deanna's now the superstar, of course, and an Emerald. So no, I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what was in store for us. And I will say this, what happened to both of them, they actually jumped really quickly up to all the way to Senior Ruby within that year, okay? And then stayed there. and they stayed there for almost another year before they both became jewels. So again, we're not quick sneeze and you're a jewel people. We've grown our business. In the meantime, Hannah had another baby. You know, Deanna was dealing with family issues in her nursing job. Life happens, but they never stopped. They really never stopped. We evolved together and they never stopped what they were doing, consistently doing this business, whether it was a few minutes, whether it was hours, whatever they were doing. So that's what I think probably even makes them enjoy it even more so, is because they really worked hard to rebuild when they went to Senior Ruby, fell back, and built all the way up to Jewel.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. And I love the consistent. And our team is kind of like that. We have a really broad foundation of people that are Plexus for life. And so I know they're going to have success because they don't give up.
That's right. You know what? That's what I say. Don't become that no matter what person. No matter what happens, no matter what life throws at me, no matter what is going to happen, this is going to be a part of me. And because of the flexibility and the freedom to be able to do both, having some life struggles and doing this business at the same time, no matter what.
Awesome. Does anybody, we can take maybe, I've asked a bunch of questions, y'all. So if anybody wants to ask a question before we go, if you want to unmute, you can. I can put on gallery view so it's easier for me to, okay, this is your chance. You want to ask her a question? If not, thank you so much for sharing with us. It fills my cup to hear stories because it's truly what's said is the truth. Anyone, can be diamond in this company. Anyone can be diamond. So it doesn't matter where you're from or your start or how fast you start or where you are. So just take hold of that tonight. Team Freedom, just take hold of that. If you want this, you can absolutely make it happen. So thank you so much for doing this for me.
I'm honored to be asked. Thank you for inviting me.
So much. And I believe there's nothing that happens happenstance. It's all for a reason. So I know you spoke to somebody tonight that really needed what you had to say. So thank you again, Deborah. And everyone have a great night.
Good night. Thanks so much.
Thank you.